Hi, congratulations on receiving the free training video as promised, where we will be touching base of how to improve in A-level physics by 1 or 2 grades in about 12 weeks of time using our 3 steps to simplify learning physics method devised by top engineers from industry who have made a lucrative career out of applying physics in their professional lives. Stay tuned, there's a lot to come here. So this video is mainly for parents of year 12 to year 13 who want their child to achieve highest possible grades in physics and gain access to top university of their choice and ultimately pursue a degree that is going to help them access a top career choice. It's for parents who are worried that their child is frustrated with the complex nature of physics, is showing no improvement in physics despite continued efforts with topics such as waves, which is usually taken as the hardest topics among students, and is finding it extremely impossible or difficult to revise for their physics exam, the lastminute.com work. It's for parents who value their child's education and want them to build a bright future and a bright career for their children. It's for parents who are prepared to invest the time, the energy, the effort required to help your child secure the highest possible grades in physics and ultimately go to the top university of their choice. It's for parents who are looking for clear and actionable plan to help their child stay motivated and to enjoy learning physics and its unique applications for a better future. And this is where we at Engines Academy London add a very unique flavor. Stay tuned for this because there's a lot to come about this particular. So here's what you're going to learn. We'll be touching base about 3 important goals in this video. The first goal would be how to eliminate the fact from the mind of your child that physics is a complex subject, i.e. improve their psychology around the fact and basically make them understand they don't need to be anxious about this subject. They don't need to be worried about this subject. They don't need to stress out about this subject, firstly. Second thing is basically helping them deconstruct the concepts in physics in order to understand them clearly first and perhaps their applications as well. Okay. And finally, help them to build a strong foundation of applying the theoretical knowledge into problem solving practice in physics in order to achieve the highest possible grades or pass in their examination. But before we get started, I'd like to introduce you to myself. My name is Ahmed. I am a chartered engineer by profession. I have done my degrees in engineering, which is advanced application of physics. I've got a master's degree in systems engineering, and I've won multiple physics-related scholarship awards, and I have been tutoring physics for nearly 10 years now. And I'm a founder of Engines Academy London, where we not only teach by preaching, but also practicing what we teach. What I mean by that, I've actually gone out and I've gathered within my network the top engineers from industry who have got together to share their real life work experience with the students and at the same time teach the topic of physics because we have done extremely well in physics. That's why we have this lucrative career out in industry. And we are here to close that gap that physics is a complex subject. Physics is not a complex subject. And this is what we at Engines Academy London would like our students to understand very, very clearly moving forward. But before we get started tonight, let's make an agreement. I promise to show you in this training video how to improve in physics by applying our 3 simple steps. But you need to promise me as well. Once we are done with this video, you will actually take action of what I share with you, because then it's a great utilization of your time. You are basically going to see great differences. You are basically going to see that your child frustration can be solved. There is a solution out there, and we have the solution for you. So please take an action. Let's go ahead. So if you're worried or wondering that your child isn't, seeing the progress that you want them to at school, or they're frustrated with the complex nature of physics, they're finding it extremely hard to understand the theories and laws of physics, you even have tried getting a tutor but still doesn't work or doesn't make a difference, it seems just impossible for them to enjoy learning physics. Here is, I think, why the reason is. Here's why the problem exists. Let's talk about that. The first problem is either Your child is relying on the school teacher completely. Okay. School teachers within the UK do a fantastic job. They have got quite a lot of students to look after. Okay. Then what happens there? Sometimes students are not able to get the attention they need in that limited time the school teachers have with them. So this is where we at Engines Academy London make a big difference. Let me give you an analysis. For example, let's talk about Usain Bolt. He is able to do something on the track. He is one of the fastest runners on the planet because he doesn't have just one single coach. He's being coached by multiple coaches of their expertise. They're honing his skills, and he's able to achieve 9.58 seconds in a 100-meter race because multiple coaches have honed his skills to help him do so. Same applies for the topic of physics as well. We at Engines Academy London will not only teach the topics of physics, but we'll try to make it super interesting for your child or the students we teach by making them understand the real life application of what they're going to learn. That basically kills the monotony of them learning the physics topics, which is extremely taken well by our students from past 10 years we have been. A second problem. Usually, parents are under the impression that one-to-one tutoring is the best way forward. Actually, it's not. Being in this industry for nearly 10 plus years now, what we have realized, one-to-one is not the best way forward because we are not giving your child a winning environment. Okay. If we are able to put your child with other children in a group, be it online, then they are in a winning environment because every single child is working towards a goal of doing fantastic in physics. They can learn from each other. They can learn from each other's mistake. They can pick up from each other's problems. And this has worked extremely well in Engines Academy London so far. Next point. They are learning physics the same way as the other subject. This is another biggest problem. Physics is not a memorizing subject. Let's get that very clear. Physics is a conceptual subject. You cannot memorize physics. You need to understand physics. Once you understand it, you are able to apply that in problem solving and then do better in your examination because problem solving forms a major part of their assessment. Physics as a subject not only helps to pass the examination, but actually helps to develop the key skills which can be very lucrative for the future workplace, such as analytical skills, critical skills, key thinking skills, research skills. And this is where we at Engines Academy London add the flavor, where we tell them how to utilize physics, not only for learning the topics or passing exam, but developing these skills as well for the future workplace, perhaps the university as well. And the best part, COVID-19 has taught us that online we are omnipresent. So we at Engines Academy London follow an online model, and we have done extremely well. Our A-level physics students from last year have been able to achieve highest possible grades, such as A grades and the top grades, and they have landed in the top university of their choice. And we at Engines Academy London not only taught them physics, but actually helped them to take an informed decision of which degree they should do. Look, this is another unique flavor for your child to take away from us. Okay. Moving forward, let's hear from some of our previous students. Yeah. Zara was one of the mums of our students. The student was basically struggling during the COVID-19 time. He got in touch with us, and we actually had to help the child understand, go through a physics related project, a developer project. Again, the same analogy was applied, 3 simple steps for him understand the physics related project. And as you can read, the project was outstanding, very well received, and the student was basically remarked at this university, or so at their college, that this is one of the best projects ever produced within the college history. Okay, his son was basically very much frustrated with the complex nature of physics. Okay, and we made that simple for them, again using our 3 simplified methods, to 3 steps to simplify learning physics. Right? And James, again, we were not only helping him understand physics better, but getting him ready for his future university, and he landed in Southampton University, currently pursuing mechanical engineering. Now, before I move forward, I would like now for you to grab a pen and paper. If you're a parent or you're watching with your child who's interested to know more about these three simple steps, I would request you to grab a pen and paper because what is about to come now is a life-changing opportunity for you to pick up. Okay. And I would like to introduce you to our three proven methods to simplify learning physics method devised by top engineers from industry. And these engineers are basically aerospace engineers, mechanical engineers, mechatronics engineers, and software engineers. We have actually made a career out of applying physics in our real lives. That's what makes it absolutely unique. And that's what makes it absolutely interesting for your child as well. Moving forward, the step number one we are talking about is psychology. Most students find it extremely difficult to understand the theories and laws of physics. As a result, what happens is they start blaming the complex nature of physics because they're showing no improvement. It becomes overwhelming from them. It's basically like shooting arrows in the dark with the hope that one will hit the target. It doesn't work like that. So what we actually do as a first step is basically work on the psychology of the students to make them understand that physics is not a complex subject. And the best way to make them understand is set an example. And how we set an example? Because we as tutors in Jim's Academy London, we tell them that we have made a career out of this. Okay, this is a golden nugget which you are trying to ignore by classing it as a complex subject. It doesn't work like that. Please try and understand the clear outcome of learning physics. And this is where James Academy London adds unique flavor. We make them understand that there is a structured approach that you can take and physics will become as enjoyable as possible. Okay, and this is where we have built a program around this, which helps the students understand the topics in physics in a much concise manner. We make them understand that it's not a memory game, it's basically a conceptual subject, unlike other subjects. Okay. The second step is basically about deconstruction. Deconstruction, put it this way, is basically you build something together, we deconstruct it, and we rebuild it again. Okay. And the way we do that is basically, firstly, as we said, if the students think that it's a complex subject, okay, the concepts in physics are studied with a wrong approach. What we do is basically we try to make them understand that you can learn physics in a different manner. You don't have to memorize the theories or the laws in physics. You have to understand the concepts first and stop relying on the shortcuts to excel in their examination because that is not going to work. And it's basically like, if you think about it, it's basically like trying to run even before you could walk, you know? So what we actually do, we clearly explain the topics in physics to our students firstly. And the best part we add here, we add the unique flavor of Engines Academy London, where we teach them the application of these topics. Topics like waves become very interesting for our students, and waves is usually taken as a topic which is classed as boring by students. It's something that they don't understand. They don't understand why we're learning this. We actually teach them why you are learning this. Okay, it's just like the best sportsmen on the planet. They prepare to play certain tactics. They know their opponents, so they know. So when it happens in real life, they are already few plays in front. Okay, they when they are about to play in the field. Right, okay, and the real key is to clarify the concepts of physics across the syllabus. Okay, and deconstruct the theories and laws of physics so that they can begin to understand them clearly. Because once they understand them clearly, they are able to apply this in the problem solving. And like I said before, problem solving forms a major part of their assessment. So we attack on that point. We attack on that main top area to help us achieve the highest possible grades for our students. Moving forward, the third step that we talk about is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes one perfect. We have heard about this so many times. It's the same here as well. Okay. So most students, what they do, perhaps they fail to practice problem solving in physics. And like I said to you before in the beginning itself, I've repeated myself multiple times as well. Problem solving forms a major part of their assessment. What happens is they get frustrated, they get overwhelmed when the low grades persist, despite of them taking a wrong approach to understand the concepts in physics, and their mocks actually show they are going to get a predicted D or B or C in their examination. And that basically, puts them down. So it's like, if you think about it, a good singer is basically not only becomes a good singer by learning the techniques of singing, but practicing singing, because that makes it perfect. Same applies here. Okay. So what we really work with the students is that we really make sure that they're able to retain the key concepts in physics during a step number 2 and take it on to practicing problem solving. What we do in this case is basically we give them past papers or the worksheets from the past papers. After the topics have been completed, they understand it, they go on to apply their topics topic by topic on a worksheet and understand their application. And this basically makes it very easy for them to start doing problem solving. Okay. It helps them to build the confidence, the experience, for them to identify the weaknesses. So when it comes to time, they know exactly what to do. Okay. Again, just like the singer who not only learned the techniques of singing, but mastered singing by practicing the techniques consistently, and that's why they have become one of the top singers. It's just like that, okay? And same applies here for the topic of physics as well, the subject of physics. Okay, so let's have a quick recap. The first step that we target on or attack on is the psychology. Again, psychology where we eliminate the fact from the mind of the students that physics is a complex subject. In fact, it's a golden nugget for a lucrative career. And how it is, how well it is, how fantastic it is when you get taught from people who have made a lucrative career out of this subject. Okay, so that's where we at James Academy London make it absolutely unique for you, for your child to learn from us. Okay. Second point, deconstruction. We basically deconstruct the topics in physics for your child to clearly understand them first, and then go on to apply for problem solving. And finally, practicing problem solving by retaining the key concept they have gained from step number 2, which is deconstruction, and applying them into problem solving. Because remember, problem solving forms a major part of their exams and assessment. And this is usually ignored. If anything, students fail to do problem solving. And that's where they struggle with understanding of physics. Okay. Again, so from some of our previous students, we have helped student who was struggling with physics related engineering degree, if you like. On the extreme left side, the student is basically from one of the universities. He was also one of our A-level physics students. We helped him in 2 weeks time, and he was able to do quite well in physics related examination, if you like. And one other student of ours, Rayan, he was able to do extremely well in his exams. One of the tests that was carried out, he was able to achieve 83% in his physics test, improving significantly from the time he joined with us, which was nearly in a month's time. And of course, one of our students who was skillfully helped by us to revise for his A-level physics syllabus. And it was a pleasure for us to help him do that, because we applied these 3 simple steps, and he was able to achieve highest possible grades and perhaps studying in one of the universities right now. Okay, if you have made so far, congratulations, parents. Congratulations, students. Fantastic. Thank you so very much for coming this far. And let's move forward and see what we have more for you. So remember the agreement. Okay, we made an agreement. If you're here, if you're still here, and right now you have made a commitment to take an action, let's have a serious chat about your child and help them get started, getting the guidance, help them get started, the help they need to achieve the highest possible grades in their examination. Let's build them a clear roadmap so they at least know what to focus on. Okay, let's make them understand that it's not a complex subject, it's a golden nugget. Let's make them understand how they can, make the actual value out of this topic or subject. Okay. And if it makes sense, we can even talk about it, what it would look like if we were to work together. Okay, so stay tuned, please. Ultimately, everyone has 3 choices in life. Either they continue doing guesswork, okay, where usually they go wrong, right? And guesswork is like trial and error. It may work, it may not work, time may run out, and then you are basically either saying, oh, I should have done it, but now the time has run out, so I'm doing something which I didn't want to do. How bad is that? In this current world where things are moving faster than people can think, I think guesswork is not the best way forward. And again, working hard is not the key. Working smart is the key. Okay. And this is where, if you use a proven framework i.e. 3 simple steps to simplify learning physics method by Engines Academy London, you are able to achieve a fantastic grade in the examination and have gained an access to top career choice and perhaps become one of the top engineers out there, top doctors out there, or whatever your career aspiration is. Okay, so let's work with a proven framework, because all these 3 top gentlemen here, Michael Jordan, Jeff Bezos, Steven Spielberg, all these 3 people have one thing in common. They all worked with a proven framework. Is the reason why one of the biggest retailers in the world right now is Amazon, without having a single shop out there on your high street. How fantastic that is. Okay. Again, he worked with a proven framework, if you like. So if enough is said and if enough is done, I would request you to please click on the link below, tap on the button below, and book a student success session with me or one of my team members, and we will jump on a call with you to understand the problems that your child is currently going through, to devise a plan for them, a customized plan for them, and help them to get on a journey with us to become a top physicist out there, to understand the topics in physics and pass their examination of A-level physics with the best possible grades they could think of. Thank you very much, and we highly appreciate your time. Look forward to speaking with you. Thank you once again. Ta.